Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about that Oscar-worthy performance by that of Bianca Belair and that of Naomi. That was good, man, and it's like, man, they deserve some sort of award for that. An Emmy, an Oscar. Like I remember when Jade came down in Elimination Chamber and Bianca just went like, all emotional. That was good, but this was a million times better. And it's like, at first I didn't even know this was going on because like I don't watch wrestling no more. But I was on Twitter and somebody was trending. I think it was like Jade or something like that. So I went to go see what the world was going on. And I kept reading the same comment. Like, this segment was so good, it deserves like an award. I'm like, what are people talking about? So I went to YouTube and it was recommended for me. And so I watched it and I'm like, holy crap, I've never seen a performance like that in wrestling. And I mean, never, from back when I used to watch it and stuff in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I'm just kind of like, man, they gave so much raw, like heart and emotion and like empathy and stuff. Their acting was so good, and they are wrestlers of all things. And I hate when wrestlers act, but their acting was so good. And it's like, do you see Rock? Do you see how acting is done? Like, this is how you act. And the man has never acted like that in none of his movies. Look, it's a new year. You know I'm gonna trash talk The Rock at some point. I know it. You should know it by now. Let's just move on. And so, like, when I say I've never seen anything like that, like I've never seen nothing like that. Normally a segment between like two people is always like, well, back when I used to watch it was loud. There was kind of like, their voices would kind of sound like they're shouting. They were eating it up for the crowd, you know what I'm saying? But here it just felt like a soap. It felt like a soap opera. Then it felt like a telenovela when Jade came out. And the thing is about these two, Naomi and Bianca, I don't know what kind of chemistry they had back in the day, 5, 10 years ago, on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I don't know what's the deal between these two. I know they used to take a lot of pictures together recently, especially when they was tagging and stuff, but even before that. And I know Bianca was part of the Four Horsewomen and everything. So it would make more sense to have a storyline with one of them doing it. But I don't know the relationship between that Bianca and Naomi, like, period. But they had such good chemistry together to the point where it's like it didn't even feel like wrestling no more. Like, it really didn't. Like, they was really talking from their heart and soul. Only problem I had was one point when Naomi was crying. She needed to work on that like a little bit better when Bianca was walking out. Like, she left the ring and Naomi was like ugly crying, you know what I'm saying, and talking to her. Just work on that a little bit better. But everything was just good, like the cussing, like, the tear coming out the eye and everything. But I did get distracted because up in like the audience where Naomi is standing, up at the top towards the center, there's a guy wearing a Mighty Ducks hockey jersey. And it reminds me of the Mighty Ducks uniform from the first movie. It's green. It's a couple like purple stripes in there. Check that out. And then what distracted me is when Bianca was walking away and heading back before Jade came out, there's a girl that said like the BST something best birthday. So it was like her birthday. And like, oh, that was distracting and everything. But then when Jade came out, and she came out like a pro, you can tell she's been working on her craft. Like, the way she like marched down to the ring, and you saw like the back part of her going, and the camera work was so good, going from the front to the back again to the front, and then her like, you know, heading into like the ring, and then like Naomi running out of the ring. See, that's how you do it, AEW, those two women. When you're the heel and you're in the middle of the ring and out comes the baby face, you're supposed to exit the stinking ring. And so, like, you know, then you see Lillian Garcia, like, her mouth wide open as they coming towards her and everything. And then Jade hit her finisher, and she hit it with style. It did not look sloppy, which was a problem I had when she started entering the WWE. See, now she's pacing herself. Now she's measuring the distance between her opponent, and that of her height. So when she hits her move, she can hit it without looking awkward and everything because she's so tall. So she really did improve going to the performance center and everything. And that's really good because she really needed it. She really, really needed it. And that outfit she was wearing, you know, it just made her look even more powerful and everything. And I remember at first I was opposed to like, you know, the whole Naomi or Bianca being the one to attack her because it was just like the obvious choice. And it's the one the fans want. And I believe it's just what WWE is kind of like, oh, that's what the fans think. All right, let's just give it to them. But now at least this gives Naomi something to do now that she's back and everything. But now this would have been even better if Bianca was like an actual world champion, which I bet you anything going into WrestleMania, she's gonna cause Bianca that title. And that would be a great, more of a heel turn, you know. It's predictable, sure, but like, you know, sometimes you need predictability. If she beats Io Sky for that like title, that's gonna be a shame because Io deserves a heck of a lot better than that. But like I can see her costing Bianca the belt. And it's even funny because it kind of reminded me a little bit of Rikishi when he said he did it for The Rock. Like, I did it for The Rock. And it's like, hey, she even kind of remembered that a little bit, talking about like, I did it for you and everything. And like, it was just a nice callback because, of course, that is his daughter-in-law, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it made those two feel like lesbian lovers, and then here comes this third wheel talking about, you know, I did this for you, you know, you my girl, I love you and everything, and it's like, you know, she came between us and everything, and like it was just so good and so raw that, you know, what it really, 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 really reminded me of, that South Park wrestling episode. Where like I remember when I watched that episode, I was disappointed because I was expecting something really cool, but instead of them wrestling all this, they just like reading from a script and acting like it's a play and stuff. And then they had like the fake Vince McMahon, like, you know, Vince McMahon in the South Park universe, watching it, tearing up, talking about like how emotional that was because, you know, because wrestling is like a story and everything, and you tell like a story. And so those boys were like telling like, you know, a story instead of like wrestling. And that's kind of how this reminded me of this, the way it took it to the next level of not feeling like wrestling, but feeling more like, you know, a story and everything. And so they totally deserve some sort of like reward or a pay raise or another title match or another like title reign or something like that, because that was the most entertaining thing on wrestling I've seen in ages and stuff. And it's a heck of a lot more interesting than Charlotte Flair and like Tiffany Stratton, because I completely forgot they're even in a feud, and I completely forgot they're gonna wrestle at WrestleMania. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.